Okay, after a few days of using iOS 26.0.1, we have some takeaways. And first things first, as you can see, and what's obvious here is iOS 26.0.1 is the first major update for iOS 26, and it brought a ton of fixes into the fold that were much needed since even before the iPhone 17 series released. But long story short, these are definitely not everything needed to make these devices whole. And again, I'm not talking about just the 17 series, I'm talking retroactively for all eligible iOS 26 devices. So obviously we did get some security updates and rapid response updates, as they're calling it again here, but with this update, yes, it patched a couple of little things here from the front parser, but all of those other updates and concerns were not all addressed. There's still numerous reports online with Wi-Fi issues and other things of that nature. Now, what I will say, at least again for me, and if you follow the channel for a long time, you know iPhone storage has been a big issue for system data hogging. It has been resolved on my iPhone 17 models. You can see I have 17 gigs on the iPhone 17 Air, or iPhone Air I should say, and then let's actually load it up right here on the 17 Pro Max, even just using iOS 26.1 Beta 1, we are only at 24.14. So this is good to see. If you have been experiencing issues, hopefully this will get that resolved for you for taking up and hogging system data. Now, that's still not going to make a difference for obviously iOS as a whole, but to show you the difference between Beta 1 for iOS 26.1 and iOS 26.0.1, yeah, we are neck and neck with sizing with the iOS 26 betas. I should go like this so you can see it a little better. Taking up just about 21.25 gigs as opposed to that 20.24. So right about 1 gig more. That is much more acceptable in my eyes than the 40 or 30 plus that a lot of people were seeing with these other betas and builds. Aside from that, I will say scrolling around has been solid. The actual battery life as well, since obviously that's always a concern here, has been pretty solid. I've gotten quite a lot of use out of these batteries, even not using it as my primary device daily. It is definitely very, very smooth and good to see here. Aside from that, there have been resolutions to the camera bug where there was causing some fake artifacts that was listed on here as a resolution. Happy to say that is here. I have seen some slight animation glitches, which is weird, but other people have reported that battery life is not quite up to par on their older devices. Not so much on iPhone 17s, but if you're using a 16, 15, 14, and so forth, this has not been the resolution for that. And again, if you follow the channel, this isn't surprising considering that Apple is always modifying and updating on their primary Halo devices, which obviously right now is going to be the iPhone 17 series. So it is something to keep in mind. One thing I do want to do is show you the Geekbench scores and show you exactly what we were pulling in from that. And as you can see here, prior scores on other devices were at 3663, and then multi-score was 8924. I will go ahead and run this really quick and show you an update on 26.0.1. All right, so as you can see here, iOS 26.0.1 has a single core score on the iPhone Air of 3620 and a multi-core score of 9112. So not too bad. One thing I do want to call out is that the phone did get a little warm running these tests. Again, that's simply because of the way this is built with titanium again rather than aluminum as it is on the 17 Pros. So here you go. You can see the difference right here. You have a single core score a little higher on 26.1 right here at 3720 and multi-core score of 9417 as opposed to the 9112. The main reason for these being different is because obviously this has that extra GPU core, whereas the Air is binned down and has only 5 GPU cores rather than the 6. So moot point, just want to kind of give you a comparison even though it's not apples to apples. And really, last thing I want to talk about today is really what to expect next. So we're in October now. We haven't quite got a new beta yet, simply for the fact we are still on that 2-week cycle. We got our last one on the 22nd. 29th will be week 1, and then October 6th will be the second week for these beta cycles. Now, having said all that, we should receive beta 2 for 26.1 right on the 6th or 7th, definitely the week of October 6th. And then as far as another public release goes, well, that's going to be a little telling. We don't know when we should receive another one just yet. However, since we know there are still some known issues in these builds and Apple should have an October event at some point this month, we can anticipate possibly another public beta going live then. Or beyond that, if it's not going to be a full release, we will receive 26.1 probably by the end of October as my guess. So not too much in this video for you guys today, just really wanted to talk to you and let you know what's going on, how 26.0.1 operated, and what to really expect going forward. Lots to know, lots to see. Scores are holding. I'm excited to see what's coming next, especially in iOS 26.1 Beta 2, since we didn't get a lot of new features in iOS 26.1 Beta 1. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.